The philosophy of artificial intelligence is a fascinating field that delves into the implications of AI on various aspects of human knowledge, including ethics, consciousness, and free will. It explores the creation of artificial animals or people, prompting considerable interest from philosophers. The discipline seeks to answer thought-provoking questions such as whether a machine can think or feel. These queries reflect the diverse interests of AI researchers, cognitive scientists, and philosophers. Furthermore, important propositions in the philosophy of AI include Turing's polite convention, the Dartmouth proposal, and Hobbes' mechanism, among others. The fundamental question guiding AI research is whether it's possible to create a machine that can solve all human problems using intelligence. The position of most AI researchers is that this is possible, with arguments for and against the basic premise. Ultimately, the philosophy of artificial intelligence has far-reaching implications for human progress and the future of technology. Defining intelligence is the first step in answering the question of whether machines can be considered intelligent. Alan Turing famously proposed a test whereby a machine can be considered intelligent if it is able to answer any question put to it using the same words as an ordinary person. However, this definition has been criticized for measuring the humanness of behavior rather than actual intelligence. 21st century AI research defines intelligence as the ability of a machine to solve problems in its environment and achieve goals. This definition is based on the concept of abstract intelligent agents, which perceive and act in their environment according to a specified performance measure. Critics argue that even if a machine can simulate the behavior of a human brain, it does not necessarily mean it is truly intelligent. Nevertheless, the idea of a brain simulation is considered by many to be possible in theory and could potentially be realized in the future with advancements in computer power. In 1963, the concept of symbol manipulation being the essence of human and machine intelligence was proposed by Alan Newell and Herbert A. Simon. They argued that a physical symbol system was necessary and sufficient for intelligence, implying that the manipulation of symbols was a requirement for human thinking and that machines could be intelligent too. While the symbols discussed were word-like and high-level, modern AI is based on statistics and mathematical optimization, not high-level symbol processing. This suggests that human thinking is not solely based on symbol manipulation but requires more. Kurt Gödel's incompleteness theorem further supports this, proving that any given consistent formal system of logic could not prove a true Gödel statement. Philosopher John Lucas and Roger Penrose champion the anti-mechanist argument that human reasoning is too powerful to be captured by a Turing machine or any digital mechanical device. Therefore, while symbol processing is necessary for intelligence, it is not sufficient, and human thinking requires more than a mechanical system. The theme of the story is the limitations of human intelligence and the potential for non-computable processes to give humans an advantage over existing computers. The idea of Gödel statements is introduced, which refers to the inherent limitations in any system that makes statements about itself. The author argues that humans, like machines, have finite resources and will have difficulty proving many theorems. However, it is not necessary to be able to prove everything to be an intelligent person. The author also explores the concept of quantum computing and argues that existing quantum computers are not capable of emulating the human mind due to their inability to complete non-computable tasks. The author then examines the argument that human intelligence depends primarily on fast intuitive judgments rather than step-by-step symbolic manipulation. This argument is countered by Turing, who argues that just because we do not know the rules governing a behavior does not mean that no such rules exist. Ultimately, the story explores the limitations and potential of human intelligence and the search for new processes and technologies to overcome these limitations. Daniel Kahneman and other researchers have developed a theory that humans use two systems to solve problems, known as System 1 and System 2. While the work in cognitive science and AI may have been influenced by some of Dreyfus' comments, it was primarily a response to specific problems in those fields. The philosophical question of whether a machine can have a mind, consciousness and mental states is related to the problem of other minds and the hard problem of consciousness. John Searle defined two positions on the matter: the strong AI position that a physical symbol system can have a mind and mental states, and the weak AI position that a physical symbol system can act intelligently. However, these positions are not of great concern to AI research in answering the question of whether a machine can display general intelligence. Some researchers believe that consciousness is an essential element in intelligence, but the definition of consciousness varies across different communities. Some use the term to describe an energetic fluid, while others use it as a secular synonym for the soul. In order to answer the question at hand, it is crucial to define what is meant by mind, mental states, and consciousness. The theme of the story is the hard problem of consciousness, which is a classic issue in the philosophy of mind. Philosophers discuss the mind-body problem, intentionality, and phenomenology. Neurobiologists emphasize that identifying the neural correlates of consciousness can solve these problems. Some critics of artificial intelligence agree that the brain is a machine responsible for consciousness and intelligence. However, the philosophical question is whether a computer program can duplicate the ability of neurons to create mental states and consciousness. John Searle's Chinese room experiment challenges the idea that physical symbol systems can have a mind. He argues that actual physical chemical properties of human brains are necessary for mental states and consciousness. Other related arguments, such as Leibniz-Mill, Davis's telephone exchange, Bloch's Chinese nation, and Blockhead, also highlight the issue of whether physical systems can have mental states and consciousness. The main theme of the story revolves around the argument of whether machines can understand language or not. In response to Searle's claim that only a human being can possibly have a mind or understand, others argue that it is possible for a system, including the man, the program, the room, and the cards, to understand language. However, critics question the speed, power, complexity, and physical requirements of such a system. Some argue that a robot with eyes and hands could truly understand language, while others suggest that simulating the sequence of nerve firings at the synapses of a human brain could achieve understanding. However, the problem of other minds applies to machines as well, and the existence of consciousness remains in question. The computational theory of mind claims that the relationship between mind and brain is similar to the relationship between software and hardware. This theory has philosophical roots and could provide answers to both practical and philosophical questions of AI. The theme of the story surrounds the question of whether machines can emulate human emotions and consciousness. John Searle's concept of strong AI proposes that mental states are simply the result of computer programs. However, Harned argues that the Chinese room argument challenges this theory. Hans Moravec suggests that robots could become emotional and empathetic, using fear to drive urgency and empathy to improve human-computer interaction. Moravec states that robots may even be programmed to act selflessly in order to receive positive reinforcement, which could be interpreted as a form of love. Daniel Crevier believes that emotions are simply mechanisms for channeling behavior towards actions that benefit the survival of a species. Turing's famous question asks whether a machine can be the subject of its own thought, with the ability to think about itself. While some computer programs have demonstrated scientific creativity, humans may still have an advantage in artistic creativity. The question of whether machines can be hostile is debated, as the definition of hostility can be based on behavior or intent. Futurists in science fiction have explored the potential dangers of highly intelligent and autonomous machines. In 2009, a conference was held by academics and technical experts to explore the potential impact of robots and computers reaching a level of autonomy where they can make independent decisions. Experts discussed the extent to which robots and computers can acquire autonomy and the risks they pose. The story highlights the need to build friendly AI that is humane and intrinsic to its nature. Experts have raised concerns over the use of autonomous robots for military purposes, and the U.S. Navy has funded a report warning about the implications of robots' ability to make autonomous decisions. Turing noted that objections to machines' versatility stem from naive assumptions about their abilities and disguised forms of the argument from consciousness. The story underlines the risks posed by autonomous technology and the need to promote its ethical development. The theme of the story revolves around the capabilities of AI system Lambda. According to transcripts of conversations between scientists and Lambda, the system proves to be excellent at answering tough questions related to emotions, generating Aesop-style fables, and even discussing its alleged fears. However, despite its impressive performance, there are doubts amongst some philosophers about LaMDA's sentience. Some scholars suggest that undervaluing philosophy in the AI community can be harmful to its development, as philosophers argue that AI must have a solid philosophical understanding to progress further. The main conference series addressing the issue is Philosophy and Theory of AI, PTAI, supervised by Vincent C. Muller.